الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه أجمعين أما بعد. We live in exciting times. There is a revolution going on in the UK these days. I call it the human trash revolution. A 17-year-old Christian man, full-grown man, forget about the teenager stuff, a full-grown man from Rwanda. He and his family used to go to church in Britain. He was born in Britain, not Muslim, Christian, not immigrant, he was born there, stabs a number of people and kills 3 young girls. Terrible crime. He's a Christian, he's not a Muslim. And the human trash come out in the streets violently, battling the police, who are mainly white like them, and attacking Muslim areas, businesses, and masajid. If it were Muslims who went out to the streets demonstrating freedom of speech, you will see a much larger presence for the police and a much harsher response. But looking at the footage of the videos, people fighting with the police, the police presence is ridiculous. It's a joke. It's like they don't have the heart to battle these people because what? There are millions of Muslims in Britain, millions. They're not going to go back where they came from because the West has devastated their countries and kept supporting tyrants who devastated their countries. Corruption, violence, brutality. They're not going to go back. So you keep pushing Muslims to what end? You think they're just going to be silent? The police are today talking, or yesterday, about protecting the Muslim community. There are millions of them. You should have thought about it, like the first 15 minutes when these people, the human trash, it seems like in the UK they don't collect trash regularly, keep it piling up. The first 15 minutes they're going out and you know what for. You immediately increase the presence of the police in the streets, tell them, catch them all, put them in jail, giving them long terms of jail time, and protect the Islamic institutions and people immediately. Listen, I'm quite sure, and Allah knows best about the future, but from my human side, I'm quite sure that these people will now, realizing that the man who did it is a Christian, will come and say he had mental problems, violence back home that his family told him about Rwanda. If it was a Muslim, you would have heard the word terrorist, terrorism, terroristic, Muslims 1,000 times already. But it's not. Look at the response. It's ridiculous. Freedom of speech, you're allowing these people to build up hatred for other religions, other communities, that leads to violence often. And you call this a freedom of speech? What if Muslims did what these people did, or a fraction of it? You will find the entire army maybe in the streets and shooting, attacking masajid, closing Islamic institutions. But what can we say? I know for a fact that it seems like the majority of the white people in Britain despise these people. But those people are exactly the ones that are in America, and they're going against the immigrants, especially Muslims, against Islam, in a violent way. They want to push them out to prevent more of them from coming, and they are connected to Christianity. They are fundamentalist Christians, using the Bible, Jesus, the Prince of Peace, as if the Prince of Peace would tolerate anything that these people are doing. I'm quite sure that the majority of the people in America also despises them. I mean white people. But they are the loudest, and the white people need to speak up and say, we don't agree with these people, we're against them. One woman who was interviewed in Britain, she said, we don't agree with these people, they don't belong to us. And she was wearing a Free Palestine, small thing here, Free Palestine. So many of them, but they need to speak up and come forward, and don't vote for these people. Stop voting for these people. They are going to devastate you. It will end up in violence and maybe civil war in America and in other Western countries because of their keep pushing, because of them keeping pushing Muslims. To what end? To what end? That the Muslims will take in patience without retaliation. To what end? What's wrong with you? Freedom of speech. If a Muslim says a fraction against the Jews and the Christians that these people are saying against Muslims and immigrants, they will be silenced immediately with all kinds of accusations. In Western Europe, Islam is persecuted. Can you imagine, even if you're not a Muslim, listen to me today, that you appoint as a judge over what your wife can wear or not wear, a French wicked man, to tell you, your wife can wear this, and to tell her you can't wear this. Their freedom of religion is garbage. It's the same people who go to poor countries in Africa and Asia, South America, tell them, hey, democracy, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, unless you're Muslim, Look what we're doing. We're not allowing Muslim women to wear Islamic clothing, but we don't interfere in religion, and religion shouldn't interfere in politics. Really? Britain doesn't do that, alhamdulillah, yet. They need to stop these people immediately. Use the harshest methods that you would have used against Muslims who, I hope not, would go to the streets and do the same kind of violence these people are doing. Same level. Otherwise, keep this freedom of speech here in your pocket and don't take it out, because it doesn't mean anything. Muslims know that. The oppression, the persecution, the attacks on their religious freedoms, freedom of speech, it's unbelievable. And it's in the West. What should I say? What should I call the West? Hypocrisy Incorporated. Oh Allah, help us against these tyrants.